and ropes are tight. Mike's alive and the ticks ignite. From the locker room to the main event, James and Aaron got some message to send. No holds barred, no filters here. They drop pipe bombs in your ear. With every slam, with every cheer, they bring the heat crystal clear. It's the Savage Wrestling Podcast. The bell rings loud, the legends clash. James Boyer Jr. and Aaron Baker ride through power bombs and heel turns white. Raise your horns, feel the blast. This is the Savage Wrestling Podcast. They call up fakes and praise the greats. From indie kings to Hall of Fame plates. Breaking kayfabe, truth on the track. No sugarcoat, just suplex facts. Tales from the road and rivalries burn. Championship dreams and tables turn. Feel the pop, the passion, the fire. They're the tag team that never tires. Sage talk, it's a war zone. You step in the ring, better hold your own. James brings the news. Aaron hits you with the truth. They body slam the toxic guy you think all night. This is the Savage Wrestling Podcast. Dropkick shootings never outclassed. James and Aaron calling it straight. Legends are born at this podcast gate. Blood, sweat, stories that last. All in the Savage Wrestling Podcast. Savage Wrestling Podcast.
Okay. We're live, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I am one pissed off individual. But welcome to the Savage Wrestling Podcast. And I promise it's not going to be all gloom and doom. I just got some things that I got to get off my chest, and quite frankly, either you're gonna agree or disagree, and quite honestly, I don't give a fuck if you agree or disagree because I will always stand on business. So, for those of you that attended the post Money in the Bank live show, I appreciate each and every one of you. I mentioned the quote-unquote protests in Los Angeles, and that I had hoped everybody that was attending Money in the Bank would get home safe. And I stand by that fact 100%. And what I don't stand for is everybody on X that wants to call what is happening in LA and around the country as I sit here today at 12:09 in the afternoon on January 13th. By the way, it's Friday the 13th, ladies and gentlemen, so there's that. But what is ultimately happening in Los Angeles and across the country, quite frankly, as a person that was born and raised in this country, it makes me fucking sick. Makes me absolutely sick to my fucking stomach that I can see a nation that I love torn in pretty much two over nothing. People that are rioting in LA and across the country are only pissed off because the person that they wanted in office lost the election back in November, and now you guys are dealing with the harsh reality of the next 4 years under the Donald Trump presidency. Do I agree with our president on everything that he's done so far? No, not really. I think he's kind of fucked our economy, which kind of fucking sucks. But what he's doing right now in deporting undocumented, quote unquote, citizens and removing them from the country entirely and shipping them back to, or deporting them back to where they came from isn't something to be pissed off about and to be upset about. Especially, let me ask you this question. Does it affect you entirely? Maybe to some people. To a vast majority. Does it really does it really affect you that much that you have to go that you have to go out into the streets and you have to burn cars, you have to loot buildings, you have to just cause havoc? When in reality, the people that you are protesting against have criminal records that include human trafficking, drug charges, gun violence. They're not just removing everyday citizens, they're removing criminals who traffic humans and smuggle drugs like fentanyl into this country. But yeah, go ahead and protest because that's your right as an American citizen. And I try so hard to differentiate politics and professional wrestling. But there is just this small group of wrestling fans that every time that WWE does something, that they have to make it a political agenda. And I saw this yesterday because happy birthday to the United States Army, 250 years old. And I saw people that wanted to make this a political post about, oh, Cody Rhodes, Tiffany Stratton, and the Street Profits attended a Trump rally. Wasn't here, fuckface. Wasn't it? First of all, it's not a Trump rally. It is a celebration of the United States Army, which I don't know if you realize protects your freedom of speech, protects your freedom of protest, protects your right to bear firearms. But hey, we want to attack those that are protecting those that can't protect themselves. But I'm here to tell you, as a 100% red-blooded American, that I will defend my homeland if and when that time comes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a time period. We're in a time period. One of our closest allies, and this could get me in a lot of hot water, and quite frankly, I don't care anymore because I'm not the Aaron Baker that you guys have come to know, the happy-go-lucky Aaron Baker. No, I'm the loose cannon, and I say things that, quite frankly, Aaron is quite honestly scared to say, in fear of backlash and whatever else you whatever else you want to call it. But we're living in a time period, some of our closest allies are causing problems. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna name them. When one of our closest allies in Israel decides to launch attacks on Iran's nuclear program, it makes you wonder how much longer is that ever so thin? How much longer is that thin line going to last? And it makes you wonder, and it really makes you wonder, are we really sitting here Listen, you guys really just you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't you don't see the signs when they are pointed right in front of your face. You want to ask the questions of why are these signs here and what do they mean? And you wait for people like me to explain to you exactly what you were seeing. And ladies and gentlemen, today I sit before you as a pissed off American that is watching his country go from the biggest and baddest in all the land to what some people on the internet would call we're so close to a civil war, or we we as an American people need to take charge and do what needs to be done against ICE and whatever the fuck. When quite frankly, I stand for what ICE is doing. Because here's the harsh reality of it, folks. Here's the harsh reality of it. I am all for, because my political leanings are right down the middle. I am all for other people from other countries coming to this country by any means necessary to live out to go and find their American dream. What I am not okay with is when illegal migrants want to come here and just cause havoc and cause harm. That's all we're doing right now in LA is just causing chaos. For what? For what? Some guy who's got a fucking track record of just constantly human trafficking? That's what we're protesting? We're protesting somebody with a criminal record of human trafficking. That's what we're doing nowadays. All right, got it. Now, I really don't know how to transition out of that because I've said a lot and I've said my piece. And I'm gonna be done with it. You won't hear a peep of politics out of me, but I just wanted it to be known that if push comes to shove, I'm defending my homeland, whether you like it or not. But on with the wrestling talk, shall we? On with the wrestling talk. Because that's what you guys are really here for. You guys aren't here to listen to my political ramblings because my name is not Hassan Piker, and that's not what I do. It's not what I do here. Let us transition in only the best way that we can, and let's talk some wrestling. Okay. I mentioned on the Money in the Bank post show review that I was thinking about doing a new series, my own show, and giving WCW its day in the sunshine. And I finally decided that that is going to be a reality this coming Sunday. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this coming Sunday is the debut episode. Let me get rid of this banner real quick of Savage Wrestling Podcast presents WCW Monday Nights. Now, I haven't really decided on if this is going to be like a weekly Monday night thing, and then on Sundays, you guys get a pay per view episode. I haven't really ironed out all the details. I've still got a couple of days to really iron out a lot of things, but I'm really excited. I'm super excited. And I hope that you guys come on this journey with me and relive relive WCW Nitro era, and we'll have Thunder included in there when we get to it. You guys enjoy the good old days of WCW, and we'll draw some similarities to WCW and AEW, since that seems to be the popular correlation in wrestling bubbles. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I said it on the live show, and I think I also want to thank Willie's Wrestling Corner. Thank you, brother, for coming in here and having a blast for the last like hour and a half or so. But I mentioned on the stream about R-Truth and how WWE kind of worked us a little bit, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, was this really a work? Did we really get worked by the system? And I kind of festered on that thought for a couple of days until Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to catch Monday Night Raw live, because my work schedule has changed, and I am sleeping for work when Raw is live at 8 o'clock on Mondays. And by the time I get to work around 9 o'clock, I've already missed an hour, and by the time it's time to clock in, I've pretty much missed the whole show. So I just kind of restart and watch the replay. But when I got to work and, kind of got settled in and was able to tune into Monday Night Raw, I saw Ron Killings. Let me put some respect on his name. Saw Ron Killings come out and cut his hair. And at that point, I had a realization. R-Truth was the end, and Ron Killings is just the beginning. And if you need to see what Ron Killings is all about in TNA posted a video of the complete history of Ron Killings in TNA. So I highly suggest that people go and check that out. Now, we've mentioned this guy a couple of times on the show, JD from NY206, and he mentioned that it was not a work, it was a shoot. This was not planned by any means necessary, and I'm going to have to agree with him. Now, does that mean that R-Truth is going to get a WWE title match? Who knows? I don't know where they're going with this. I don't even think WWE knows where they're going to go with this, because they saw everybody on social media, and they knew that they fucked up. They fucked up bad. They fucked up really, really bad. And it's pretty evident. Pretty evident that now we've gotten Ron Killings, and he's he's killing it. He just had I know I just saw a video of him commenting on Bully Ray's comments about he didn't like that he had to hear Ron Killings bring up he's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Had a response to that. And I do apologize, guys. I'm not going to be able to show videos on here. James is usually the one that is able to do that, but he is currently on vacation, so please leave him the fuck alone. If you got a problem with anything that I said today, come find me. I'm done giving a fuck about what all y'all think. Honestly. Honestly. And if I offended, you know what? If I offended anybody with my comments, you don't have to listen. Plain and simple. Would I love to see this podcast grow? Of course. I'd love to see it grow. I would love to see it thrive on different platforms, which is why we left Twitch, because Twitch was not going to be a platform for us to positively grow. So, moving on, we got the King and Queen of the King and Queen of the Ring qualifiers. Sami Zayn moves on. Roxanne Perez moves on. There's a little tension now in the Judgment Day with her and Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan's got her own problems with the returning Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella comes out on Raw and she says, I am so happy to be back in WWE. And just in case you have forgotten, I main evented the first Women's Evolution PLE. Anyway, she comes out and she talks about, the women's wrestling of today with um, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquet. Stephanie Vaquet. I don't know who Stephanie Vaquet is. I know who Stephanie Vaquer is. Now I know that she's talked about this on her fucking podcast. But let's be honest. Let's be honest, folks. Who in their right mind wants to see Nikki Bella right now? Anybody? Anybody? No? Nobody wants to see Nikki Bella? I don't want to see Nikki Bella either. Quite frankly, I don't want to see the Bella twins because I know they're going to come back and they're going to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Yippee. We'll get in. We'll get into that build for sure. But hold up. Okay. Apparently my microphone has gone out. Hello? Oh, this is fucking embarrassing. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, can you hear me? There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. My phone just keeps shutting off and all of this other shit, so that's where I am. So, Liv and Raquel have not done anything with the tag team championships. AEW is trying to do women's tag team championships with a women's roster that they have fed to Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm, and we'll talk about that build a little bit later. But we all know why Nikki Bella is doing this. It's because WWE offered her a bunch of money because they know that she's got alimony to pay after her recent divorce, which Liv Morgan brought up in her promo that she's got championship goals, something else, and no man, and she has a man. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Not really excited for this women's evolution PLE. I'm really not. Nothing so far that's being built is catching my eye at all. Like at all. Like I don't know what y'all want me to do. I but let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is my pick to win this King of the Ring. Is my pick to win King of the Ring this year. It's in Saudi Arabia. Why not? This is my pick to win it. But what was I gonna say here? But I have a feeling we all know who's gonna win the King of the Ring tournament. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes. And quite frankly, we all know where this is headed. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and John Cena at SummerSlam. If they are really going to do, um, they're really going to do John Cena. I mean, yeah, John Cena and CM Punk and Saudi Arabia. Which that's another thing that I've seen a lot of people crash out about and call CM Punk a hypocrite. But also at the same time, you also had to see this coming because just in case you forgot, the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia next year. And you mean to tell me that you're going to have a Royal Rumble without CM Punk, one of your biggest stars? You're going to tell me that? You're going to have a. Because here's the thing, folks. We're headed towards WrestleMania being in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And it's coming sooner rather than later. Got to have your big names on your big shows. Don't know what you want me to tell you. I see some people calling CM Punk a hypocrite. I don't really think that that's warranted, but I understand your sentiment. You feel like he is going back on what did he say? He told the Miz to go suck a blood money covered monkey dick or something. But listen. Listen, it's just a tease, folks. What happens if we don't get it? I, even though the match is made official, there could be. I don't know. I have a feeling like and here's the thing that nobody's talking about. John Cena did the ultimate heel move and said, if you want this, if you want the WWE Championship, you're gonna have to follow me to the one place that you said that you'd never go, Saudi Arabia. That's the kind of heel shit that I like right there. Right there. Other than that, nothing really happened on Monday Night Raw besides the King and Queen of the Ring Fatal 4-Way qualifiers. Seth Rollins was kind of a non-factor. He showed up in the first segment to let everybody know that he's Mr. Money in the Bank now. And oh, I almost forgot about that. My bad. My bad. And I almost thought that he was going to cash in Monday night to win the World Heavyweight Championship. But WWE did the unthinkable and put the world title back on Gunther. Jey Uso's World Heavyweight title reign ends at 51 days. Think it's a little short for the man, but as a fan, as a wrestling fan, we should be very thankful that we even got Jey Uso with the world title to begin with. Just saying. Oh, and we've also got LA Knight potentially going after Seth Rollins' group that still doesn't have a name, by the way. And we are so far removed from fucking WrestleMania. And they don't have a name yet. It's weird. Weird. But yeah, the reign of Jey Uso ends. Gunther's reign begins. Don't really have any thoughts and opinions about Gunther winning the world title because it just kind of put a wrench in some plans or whatever. I don't know what they fucking have planned, honestly. Um, so AEW, right? We're trying to build the All In Texas. Trying to build the All In Texas. I'm going to be honest with you. The build so far has been a little weird. Been a little weird. Especially with these fucking 4-hour special events of literally just Dynamite and Collision back to back. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you folks, I have not watched AEW this week because I just don't have all that time on my hands to be watching AEW for 4 hours, honestly, to get, the go thing. To, just get the gist of the program. But I'll go over the couple of things that I've seen. I think we got to redo. Well, here's my thoughts and opinions on why they're doing these 2-hour shows because I've noticed that none of the NBA Finals games fall on a Saturday. They they didn't fall. There wasn't an NBA Finals game last week. There's and I mean on Saturday. There's not an NBA Finals game on this Saturday because the next game I think is tonight, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But my theory is this. I think that they did these 2-hour shows to see the replay numbers and to get a better gist of, the replay numbers and compare it to the live numbers and see, hey, maybe we should just have Collision be a tape thing and we just have AEW be a live show. I don't know. That's just the theory, but I would not be surprised if that happens down the road because it was announced that Warner Brothers Discovery is splitting in two. Well, is doing a little bit of a split. It is taking, I think, like its cable properties in one area, and then like it's live streaming in another area, if I remember correctly. You can correct me if you want. But yeah, that's my theory. They did these back-to-back shows because of the NBA Finals, but also I think that they're doing this to test some numbers. But let's talk about Dynamite. So the couple of things that I saw on Dynamite were the main thing was uh, Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay going to a 30-minute time limit draw. Then the Outsiders, the Death Riders. I've been watching way too much WCW. The Death Riders come out, lay waste to everybody. Then here come the Young Bucks. And then it got announced that we'll get Swerve and Will Ospreay at All In Texas, which is fucking phenomenal. I was really hoping that that was going to be the match, honestly. Then we get. I thought I know that fucking the Death Riders had a Hangman Page, had tape over his mouth. John Moxley berated him, no response. Kind of don't like that. I kind of don't like that because Hangman's really good on the microphone when he's not being a self-entitled douche. And you can't really have a redemption story if you're not gonna let the guy fucking like respond to somebody literally tying him up and gagging him with duct tape. But the next thing that I saw was Mercedes Monet is at ringside. She's got, can't believe this is real, a full steak dinner this time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. She had it all. She had her own little feast. Couple of things that looked like an asparagus. She had the steak. I don't know if she had mashed potatoes and gravy, but if she did, girl was eating great. But why did I need to see this for a second time, you may ask? Because I think that this was a redo of last week. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what it was. It was a redo of last week. Because everybody and their grandma, not grandma, everybody in their fucking mom's basement bitched. Oh, Mercedes is just eating steak. She's just eating steak. Where's the veal? Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the gravy? Where's all of this stuff? So Tony was like, you know what? You're right. Let's redo it on Dynamite. The build for Tony Storm and Mercedes Monet at All In Texas is really fucking weird, and I needed to pick up because these are supposedly your two biggest women, and they're about to go head to head at your biggest show of the year, and I'm not excited for it at all. That's a problem. And then finally, the last thing that I saw. Should have known they were going to go this route. Should have known they were going to go this route. Kazuchika Okada has joined the Don Callis family for his match with Kenny Omega for the now AEW Unified Championship. Interesting. I don't like the design, folks. I really don't. I really don't like the design because everybody's made the same fucking comparison. Oh, so the Unified Championship is the old women's title design. And I looked at it and I said, well, shit, you're right. Crazy times. Crazy times. Oh shit. It's been kind of a quiet day and well, AEW posted one of their lowest ratings. They dropped below 600,000 again. I think they had 579,000 total viewers this week. And we're about to have another 2.5 hour special event next week. Really blowing the load, Tony. Really blowing the load, especially on a Wednesday. Like, come on, dog. Like, I get 2.5 hours. Like that's doable. But like these back-to-back shows have really fucking killed the mood and have really killed the fucking vibe. Just waiting for this feeling to come back, folks. The feeling of old AEW where it was must-see television every week. But tonight we've got Friday Night SmackDown. Let's do a little bit of a preview. I don't even know if they have anything announced so far for SmackDown, but we're gonna fucking look. That's what we're gonna do for sure. All right. So this is from Sports Illustrated. WWE Champion John Cena returns to Friday Night SmackDown tonight as his goals of ruining professional wrestling become harder to accomplish by the day. John Cena returns to SmackDown. Naomi is going to address the WWE Universe after winning the Women's Money in the Bank. We'll hear from Jake. Hopefully, we'll hear from Jacob Fatu, which I have been hearing reports and rumors that we could be seeing Hikuleo, a man who hasn't been seen for over a year. Could be seeing Hikuleo debut on SmackDown. And we'll have men men and women's King and Queen of the Ring tournament matches. As well, which that seems to be all that has been announced so far. I just kind of wish that WWE SmackDown was less than 3 hours, Go back to 2 hours. That'd be cool. It'd be real cool. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout. Pay attention to the YouTube channel as I will be posting a video on the Great American Bash 1997. If you've been following along, that is the next pay-per-view in my watch through. I've been watching WCW in its entirety on a week-to-week basis, pay-per-views included, Thunders included. I have nowhere to watch WCW Saturday nights, so if somebody could hook me up, that'd be really great because I'd really like to check out some of those episodes because there's a lot. I mean, listen, I'm in the year 1997, folks. The year 1997 is like just WCW red hot. And I'm so excited because this has got my favorite match of all time in it. Not this pay-per-view. But this pay-per-view main event is Macho Man and DDP, and that was the feud of the summer of 97. Well, I think it was feud of the year. And also, at the same time, what is also happening on the other channel in the WWF is fucking crazy because Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels end up getting into a fight the same at this time at around this time in 1997, and you start really seeing the cracks in the Bret Hart shield and his time in WWE soon come to a close in just a mere few months. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you. Honestly, again, I'm not supporting these fucking riots that are happening around the country that were started by the Democratic Party because they don't like Donald Trump. These were all staged. Let's be real. To keep you hidden from what's really going on behind the scenes. Because everybody has stopped asking the really hard questions of where are the Jeffrey Epstein files and why aren't they getting released? Because now everybody's talking about these fucking LA riots. But that is going to be the stream, well, the show this week. Next week, James will be back and we will be in full force. We will be in full force next week. My album of the week is going to be Whitesnake's album Slip. No, I think I said that one last week. Actually, my album of the week is going to be, if you guys give me 1 second to get you a picture of it. Give me 1 second. Just 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Oh. I also forgot to mention. If you guys want to do me a huge solid, go support Guy Evans and his new book Beyond Nitro, and also go buy the Nitro book as well. You guys have heard me talk about this book before on the show. This book is the most detailed book I have ever read that wasn't by a dirt sheet writer about WCW. And one day I'm hoping to get Guy on the show so we can talk WCW because I love the business side of the business, and this book is chock full of information about the behind the scenes of what was happening to WCW financially. And I just love that shit. I absorb that kind of shit all the time. But if you guys just want to go and read the book, it's at wcwnitrobook.com. Go check that out. But my album of the week this week just came out with a deluxe edition, which is fucking great. And it is from a band called The Funeral Portrait. Oh, we've got too many images here, folks. We've got too many images, so I can't show you the album cover. But go check out The Funeral Portrait, Greetings from Suffocate City. I was listening to it this morning when I was getting in the shower to get ready for the show. But yeah, that is going to be it for me. Be on the lookout for the WCW video. I think you guys are going to really like it. I try to go in as much detail as possible in my reviews. That's basically what this is going to be. Is going to be just a review from a fan's perspective. This is me watching this stuff for the very first time. So I hope you guys support that and check it out. And my name is Aaron Baker. Yours is not. And that is how Liberty falls with thunderous applause.
Rain is falling, reminding me of what